Hey guys, Sam here from Ecommerce.com. I've got a super exciting video here for you today. I'm going to teach you how to hire a VA for your e-commerce store. Now, I've been hiring VAs for years and years, and I've actually posted, I checked just then, 53 jobs on Upwork in my whole lifetime, which is a lot of jobs to post. And I've been through the process of struggling with hiring the right people, and especially VAs, because you can make so many mistakes and cause so many problems, waste a lot of time, and especially waste a lot of money, and potentially really destroy your store. So I'm going to go through my exact process, how I've made this super efficient, super effective, and you're going to learn a lot of things that you've probably never heard of, probably never seen before, because I've taken this from everywhere. Some of my friends have given me advice. I had a mentor that gave me a lot of advice. And I've built a lot of stuff here myself. So let me go over an overview of what this is. I'm going to talk about why this is so important, and then we're going to dive into the actual processes, even the templates, the questions, everything I post to show you how you can do it for your own store. So what we do is we create a job on Upwork looking for a VA. Super simple. We then go through and shortlist 10 to 15 candidates. We're going to invite them to the job, and we're going to then wait and see who also applies for the job, but which of those actually respond and create a proposal for us. We're then going to send them a Calendly link so they can book a time in our calendar. This saves a lot of time going back and forth trying to find a time with all these interviews. We're then going to interview them, and I'm going to show you the questions that I like to ask and talk about that quite a lot because it's very, very important. We're then going to give them a paid trial. I'm going to show you this exact template that you can use for your hiring here as well. And we give them a paid trial. We then choose which one's the best one, and then we keep the other ones on file in case we have a job opening later. Okay, so why is this so important? So hiring is one of the hardest things you're going to learn and do as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, but it is so necessary if you want to grow your business and grow your store, grow everything, because having the right people makes the biggest difference in the world. And VAs, there is such a broad different, there's a lot of variation in the skills, the mindset, and the abilities of virtual assistants. That's what a VA means. And having a good one it's almost like a matter of life and death. It isn't really, but it makes such a huge difference. And when I found a VA that I've now had for a long, long time, working full time, it's incredible. It's amazing. And the VA I have, she knows all through Shopify. She knows how to add products. She knows how to answer customer queries. But she also works all through my agency as well. She's incredible what she does. I love her. She's fantastic. She's even going to help out editing this video too. That's what she helps out with as well. And it can really, really, really help. And I'm going to take you through the processes to stop making these silly mistakes that a lot of people make when they start hiring. And they're silly mistakes, but everyone makes them, everyone that's hired. And hiring really is an art form. And there are processes you can have to stop a lot of problems, but there's also a lot that you're going to have to learn through trial and error. I'm going to talk about that today, but let's get into it. So the first thing we want to do is create a job posting to find this VA. So here's an example of what you could have. You're going to want to tailor this towards the job that you're hiring for. This is an example looking for someone that does customer service, fulfills orders, they do website changes, they make banners, and they also do some competitor research. Okay, so I just make a really simple job saying, hey there, we're looking for a virtual assistant to help out e-commerce Shopify store. We're a small e-commerce store. Oops, I'm not an agency. And we need your help with customer service, fulfilling orders, and maintaining the website. Your role will involve answering customer service live chat, fulfilling orders with supplier, website design changes, creating banners for remarketing, and competitor research. Here's what we're looking for. Consistency. Someone long-term, someone that has good English and the ability to think for themselves, and Shopify experience working with customer service fulfillment and website design. If you can do this, then it will be straightforward, regular job for you. Looking forward to having you with us, Sam. Now, what I'm doing here is I make it really clear exactly what they're doing. Don't just make a silly post that just says, looking for a VA. You're going to get you really want to use this as a chance to segment and get the people that you want to be attracted to this job. If you make it very, very clear what you're hiring for, especially with keywords like Shopify, e-commerce, virtual assistant, customer service, fulfilling orders, website design changes, this sort of thing, people, when they're looking for jobs themselves, they're going to be searching for jobs, in Upwork, they search for jobs and they're going to look for virtual assistant Shopify. You want to make sure you have that content in there. But as well, when someone looks at this is like the role, but we're also looking for a certain type of person. Consistency, long-term, good English, and ability to think for themselves. I want someone that has initiative. This is a big ask For a lot of time when you're hiring a VA, a lot of people expect someone to just like press buttons and follow orders. Well, honestly, I've hired for that before and it can work great. But when you have someone that you don't need to micromanage, it is an absolute game changer because it's almost like a full-time job to manage someone if you're micromanaging them. But if you can hands off and know that they're going to take care and think for themselves and make better decisions than what you could make, man, it's worth its weight in gold. And if the off chance that someone like that can apply to this job, man, you really want to take that risk and try and find that person. So I'll make this job and I'll go over to Upwork and I'll go to jobs and I'll post a job. And I'm not actually going to go through the process here, because it's pretty standard. But you're going to go through and post the job. So copy and paste it. You can use my template if you want. I'll give you access to this. Check the description. But I'm going to give you, I'll put a link. I'll put a link to my website. I'll make a blog post about this. So you can copy it there. But I recommend crafting it depending on what you're hiring for. Because if you're hiring a VA, you really should know what tasks they're going to be doing. Are they doing something daily? Are they sending the orders to the supplier and then they're paying an invoice, or what are they actually doing? And list it out here. And so you really think about this. It's almost like you're writing ad copy. You're like thinking, how can I attract the right person to this job? So that's the first thing I do is I'll write this job post. I'll go to Upwork, I'll make a job, and I'll post it. Now, here's the thing. You're going to get a lot of people apply to this job. That's awesome. And you want to go through and check those people. But what I like to do is I like to go through and then find the people that look like absolute rock stars. Okay? So I'll search for VA or virtual assistant. And it's going to come up with all the people. It's going to rank them. And what I like to do is I like to filter. So I like to filter, $10 and below, because generally for this range, I'm looking for someone $4 to $6 generally. If I can find someone for that price range, maybe $8. It really depends on the task. But $4 to $6 is a good range to start off with. If you can filter by job success, because you can take a chance on someone that hasn't had many jobs or hasn't done well with their job success rating, but I really want to reduce the risk here and just try and find those absolute rock stars, and also think about the time zone. So say if I'm looking for someone in the Philippines, I think that's a really good choice to make as long as it works for your time zone, because people there can be very, very affordable, very, very skilled, culturally. Generally, they have a very good work ethic as well. It's a real generalization, but they also have really good internet too, largely, more or less. So we'll do this filtering here. I like to look for freelancers too. I don't want to work with an agency. I want to work with an individual freelancer that I can have in my Slack and I can communicate with directly. I don't want to go through anybody or have an account manager, and that's good. You can also go by earned amount if you want someone with more experience. That's fine. But I'll go through and have a look, especially how much they've earned, because a lot of people, especially if they have capacity, maybe they just got let go. Like the best VAs I've had were ones that had just been let go because the e-commerce store was sold and the new owner didn't want the VA. And so this VA just went back onto Upwork and started looking for jobs. And then I came along at the right time and I found them and they were amazing at what they did. So we're going to open up a few of these and I'm just going to look through. Take a look. So it's meticulous. Some of these are good. Shopify experience. So there's a lot of VAs in e-commerce now, which is really, really fantastic. Cool. Awesome. So what I like to do is I like to take a look at their profile, take a look at what experience they have. I might even go up here and change my search to also include Shopify. There's going to be some people here too, because ideally, you want to get someone that can just come straight in. They have great experience already, great skills, and they can just slot into your team and then start working straight away. You don't want to spend 3 months training someone on how Shopify works and that sort of thing. You want them to know, they know what they're doing. They know how the process of sending orders to suppliers. They know the process of uploading new products to the site. You want someone that knows that stuff so they can just come in and just take the reins. It's going to save you so much time and energy. It's fantastic. Cool. So I'm going to look through some of these. So this person here, e-commerce product management, awesome. Magento, Shopify, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, Volusion, fantastic. Also doing stuff like lead research. Could be interesting depending on what you need them for. So they've also done some SEO stuff. Awesome. Data entry, product research, auto processing, image editing. So I also want to find someone, this is personally for this trial, this job here, it'd be great to have someone that has design skills because that is really, really good for a VA. So just like this, so this person hasn't put in as much stuff. You also want to really check out the reviews. So the review is one thing, but also reading what they say. So when someone, has taken the time to put this in, earlier has been working with us for a while, she does a great job in helping process orders. Fantastic. So you also want to make sure that when you look, you're looking for someone, say e-commerce product management, fantastic, but then make sure that the reviews reflect the jobs because someone may put something here, but then their main jobs are all for translations or something like that. So WooCommerce, I've got Shopify, I've got WooCommerce, e-commerce, awesome. That's an agency, real estate. So this could be someone that could be really, really good. I'd want to have a conversation with this person. So what I would do is I click invite, and then I would choose the job and invite to the job that I just created previously, which is here. So you want to go through, and I like to use up all the free invites I have, 10 to 15 of them, I think there's 14 you get. Go through and invite all these top people, these rock stars, as long as they fit exactly what I'm looking for, okay? So go through and invite them. Once that's done, you then, we're then going to, we shortlist them, invite them to the job. We're then going to wait maybe 1 or 2, 3 days, and we're going to see who responds. Once they respond, they're going to send through some sort of proposal. It's going to say, hey, yeah. And some of them are copy and paste. That's fine. I'm not too concerned about that because I know that, I know a lot of amazing freelancers that just copy and paste. A lot of people say, I want someone that's very, they write everything out uniquely. I think, yeah, it is good and even better if they can make a video for you or do something custom like that. But if someone can copy like that, to me, that's not a big sign of like competency. It just is a sign of how bad they want that job. And I think this is really interesting when you think about it, step back and go, someone that already has a lot of work, they're going to be a little bit less motivated to get new work potentially. It's like if you want to find a really good employee, you've got your job, people working that are available in the job market right now, but then there are people that are still working for another person, and sometimes those people, it might be better off to headhunt and find someone working for someone else. In the same way, someone's just doing copy and paste, I don't really mind too much because I'm going to check out their profile, see if they have experience. I'm going to get on a call with them and I'm going to put them through a paid trial task. And that's really going to weed out a lot of the people that I don't want. And so if someone is saving time by copy and pasting, I'm like, I don't really mind too much because it's kind of efficient as well. I kind of have a bit of respect for it. But when I've been on Upwork as a freelancer in the past, I've actually used I've copied and pasted, and I've also done really custom stuff. And the custom stuff does work really well. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So what I do here, this is really important, guys. Another big tip is to use Calendly. So Calendly is this software, and there's a free version that is totally free, and it connects in with your calendar, your Google Calendar, or whatever calendar you have, and it allows you to set some time where you can take calls. So maybe it's between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. every day. And it checks if there's a conflict, if you already have a meeting, and it blanks that out so no one could book a call. And you send this link, you send a link to each of the people that applied for the job. So all the people that applied in your messages, go there and check all the people that applied that look good. Then you can send them a link to say, hey, book a time in my schedule and let's have a call. And especially if you sync this up with Zoom, and there's a free... Zoom is free as well for just under 40 minutes, I think it is. But it will automatically create a Zoom meeting, and it's so efficient, guys. Even if it costs a little bit for you, it's so efficient because what you can do here is send like 5 to 10 of these links, the same link to all these people, just copy and paste, bum, 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 and then you're going to get a full week booked of all these interviews. And then once you have those interviews booked, we then interview them with the questionnaire. So let me go down. So these are these interview questions that I've made for you guys. And I've got about 100 questions that I'll use depending on the role. So let's think about the goal of this interview. The interview is when you're going to get on the call, on Zoom call or whatever call, Zoom is, I recommend Zoom, with these virtual assistants. And you really want to figure out, can they do the job? So do they have the experience and the skills? But are they a good person and cultural fit? This is so important. So, you want someone that can do the job, but you also want to work with someone that, is competent, conscientious, industrious. They get the work done. They're on time. They're consistent. These sort of traits, but also are they like, for me personally, I don't want to work with assholes. Like the same with any clients or any team members. I love everyone on my team. I love my clients. They all are great people. We want to work with people that are nice. Like, and so especially if you're starting your store and this is your first VA, it might be your first person you're ever hiring. Like, I really recommend finding someone that you get along with. So maybe you have something in common, but at least you're not grinding each other's gears, because it's going to make things so much easier, and they're going to be more motivated and take more initiative in the work that they do. They're going to be happier. It's just going to be payoff for like so much, guys. So that's why I have these different types of questions, and they really feed into each other, because a lot of the time the personality traits are also going to be reflect into their work. And what I mean by this, well, when you're interviewing, you're not only trying to figure out, can this person do the job, but what are their values? And with any interview, maybe you've been for an interview before, you've gotten a job, but you'll sit there and you should like really think about the job description, the job, and you're often trying to sell yourself and craft the right responses to questions. And when you start hiring people, it's a really bizarre thing to be on the other side of the chair, on the other side of the table, and to be asking the questions. And it feels like the whole time I'm trying to figure out exactly what this person is, and they're trying to hide and show me their best side. And so it's like this weird dance where I'm trying to ask the right questions and really get down deep and figure out, is this person a good fit for this position? Do I like this person? Do they have good values that match the culture of our company? And they're sitting there going, how can I seem to be the best candidate so I can just get into this job and get hired? When in my opinion, as soon as they get hired, we're going to figure out pretty quickly if they're not a good fit and they're not going to last long. It's just going to be a terrible experience for everybody. Regardless, here are some questions that I like to ask. So first, about experience. I like to start talking and hear their background. So even though you've got Upwork and their profile there, I want to ask much more detailed questions about who they've worked with. So, hey, tell me about what stores, or tell me about X job. So which job, like pick out a job, tell me about that job. And they'll talk about certain jobs, and you really want to start thinking, okay, what did you do there? What were you in charge of? Were you managing anybody, or were you handling customer service? Were you designing banners or the website? Were you fulfilling orders? What were you actually doing, and how did you do that? What software did you use? What platform did you use? And I really like to try and get an idea of their experience here. And that's just to get started, to get an idea of, okay, where are we starting from? How many years have they been doing this? Do I need to train them? That sort of thing. The next thing is like I start getting more deeper, like what's the most important thing when managing customer service? So I really want to know. That's like a values question when you think about it. So maybe they'll say being consistent with every single response so that you have a cohesive brand across all your support. That's one potential response, and that can tell you, okay, this person likes to be consistent every single time. Maybe they say, oh, I think the most important thing is responding as quick as possible. Maybe this person values punctuality. See how I'm asking this question? They provide a response, but that actually tells me something much deeper about them as a person, who they are, but even what they believe about their work and how this is reflected in their work. Another really good question is, tell me a big mistake you've made in e-commerce. And this is really, really big because, most people that have, most VAs, they've had a screw up. They've messed up something. Maybe they've put the wrong pricing on the website and someone's bought this product for really cheap and then they had to get it refunded or something like that. But everyone's had a stuff up. What you want to know is, tell me about this big mistake. You want to find out what that mistake is, but more importantly, how did they handle that? So you ask them, okay, well, how did you handle that? How did you deal with that? What was your response? And maybe even how did you, what did you do to stop that from ever happening again? And if they're a good fit for at least for me, for my business, I'd love to have someone that can make mistakes, that's fine, but learn from their mistakes and then implement ways to stop it from happening ever again. Okay. Something else is tell me your experience about fulfilling orders so that you're finding out their experience in a certain area, and tell me a time where you solved a big problem with a store. So this is a really big thing, like looking for initiative. So someone that saw an opportunity for the store, maybe it's some new products, or maybe changing the wording on the product page based on what customers were telling them in the live chat. This sort of thing is really, really valuable because having someone on your team that thinks for themselves, it's really, I keep emphasizing it, but it's so good, guys. It's really, really important. And guys, when you're asking these questions, these are all basic questions. Remember, if this is your first time hiring is an art form. It takes a lot of time to learn this and get better. Like I personally read a lot about this, watched a lot of videos, but I also had a mentor which worked closely with me to help me grow this skill myself. I'm still not perfect. And I've heard, one of my good friends who's a very successful entrepreneur, he said that your first 5 hires are going to be terrible. And it's not necessarily like their fault. It's really like they might have been good at a different position, different company, but they just weren't a good fit for your company. And with time, I noticed myself, I definitely can almost develop an intuition where you can really get a sense of a bit more about if someone's going to be a good fit, just because you'll understand your team, your business, your culture, your fit, but also the role. So you're going to be much better at understanding exactly what's required, because after a few hires, you're going to learn this. But these tips here, like I'm trying to help you guys get in the right mindset so you can hit the ground running and be in a better position starting off than what I was when I started hiring myself. So the next few questions, and this is going back to what I said about you're there trying to ask these questions and figure out exactly what this person is like, and they're trying to dodge it and trying not to like let you see the real person that they are. And not everyone interviews like this, not everyone answers the questions like this, but a lot of people will, and a lot of VA, a lot of people potentially will try and give you the best response possible. And I don't blame them, they're trying to get the job. But what you want to do here is I like to find out who they are as a person, but also dig deeper into those values. So tell me about yourself apart from work. So I want to hear like, what are their hobbies? What do they do after work? Do they have a family? Do they like to go out walking and like go do yoga, meditation? I'm also thinking like in terms of myself, my personality, I love someone that I get along with. It'd be really cool to know that someone is doing stuff. And if they're doing hobbies that I have no idea what they are, that's awesome too. But it shows that they have a life and they're out there exploring and experiencing life. I think that's really, really cool. So what are your hobbies? What are you learning right now? The reason I ask this is because someone that is learning something, maybe they're reading a book on neuroscience, or that's a big thing, but like maybe they're reading a book on some sort of philosophy or some sort of idea, or even just like how to knit, something really cool like that. That's a really good sign for me, because I like people that want to grow, that want to learn, and they take initiative. That's a big thing for me. So it's not a trick question, like what are you learning? You're honestly like asking that. You can ask like, what are you reading right now? Anything you're learning, any courses you're taking. What is your time capacity and work hours each week? So you just want, like, it's an honest question. You just really want to find out, how much can they dedicate to your business? That's a big thing. I would maybe even ask that earlier on, right at the top, just because you don't want to spend 30 minutes interviewing someone or 60 minutes and then find out they only have 3 hours per week. It's like, okay, well, that doesn't work for me, especially if it's a bigger job. This is where we get really, really interesting, guys. This is one of my favorite questions that my mentor taught me. It's like you want to find out how they're going to fit into your team. And these sort of questions, they really get down into the values. And let me explain what we do here. So like I said, everyone's going to pretend to be like, put on this face that they're amazing to work with, but you want to kind of get them to reveal their true colors. And those true colors can be amazing as well. You just got to find them. So I ask them, tell me about a team you've worked on recently. And they'll say, oh yeah, I volunteered at this shelter. I did this. Yeah, I worked on this team at this e-commerce company over here. And they'll tell you, like, they'll often say something amazing about it. And you'll say, okay, tell me about someone that you really liked on that team. And this might catch them off guard. And they're like, what? And you say, yeah, someone that you liked working with that made it really easy for you to do your job. And they're going to say, oh, I liked working with Bill. Then you say, okay, why Bill? Why did you like working with Bill? And they're going to say, I liked Bill because he worked alongside me and he was always on time and he got his work done, and it just made it so much easier for me to get my designs done because he made the wireframes very quickly. And you listen to that and you go, okay, what is that telling you about their values? That's saying they probably like punctuality. They like people that are conscientious and they get their work done. And they've relied on people in the past, and they like it when people that they rely on get stuff done to them. So they often respect other people, maybe based on their work. I'm not sure. I'm drawing a lot of conclusions out of that, but you're just getting a few different bites. And then you can say, okay, why did you like that? Why was that good? Oh, tell me about, like, what else did you like about that person? And they're going to reveal subconsciously their values to you based on what they like in other people. And here's the real cruncher. You say, okay, tell me about someone you didn't like. And for that, this is a real opportunity for a lot of people are going to take this and go, yeah, I didn't like working with Peter. And like, okay, why didn't you like working with Peter? Oh, he was my boss, and he was just always over my shoulder, like just watching everything I did, and I felt like I just couldn't make decisions for myself. Well, okay, they're kind of ripping on their manager, so that's an interesting point to dive into. But potentially you could go, okay, Maybe there's someone that doesn't like being micromanaged. Well, most people don't. But maybe as well that they just weren't a good worker and their manager had to micromanage them because they just were on their phone the whole day or something like that. So you got to ask more whys and figure out why. But even when you ask these questions, you're going to reveal a lot of really interesting stuff and how they relate to people and what they value in other people. And you can see that you can pull out some really good stuff here, and really interesting stuff. It's a really, really good technique. And another thing you can say is, tell me about the worst manager you've ever had, or tell me about the best manager you've ever had. These are really good questions because, if you're their only manager, you're the one that's like they're working for you, then you want to know like, okay, how do they like, what's their dynamic often with their boss or in bosses in the past? So it helps you figure out, okay, how can you best help them do better work by managing them in the best way possible? This last question, not a trick question at all, but I really like to help my team try to make them be happy in the work they do and get them in an environment that they can work and be happy. So for example, I like to make sure that they can be flexible with their time zones, as long as there's some crossover with whatever needs to be done, as long as they get their work done. I don't mind. They don't need to wear a uniform. They don't go at this time, or anything like that. I want to make it so it's really easy for them to get great work done. And I think everybody has some sort of ultimate environment where they're in state. They're in this state where they can just get great work done in flow state. And so some people, it means a cubicle, like a room, a closed room where there's no distractions, so they can get into deep work and just focus. Some people, like I love to have a scented candle. I love to chew gum. Like for me, that just gets me in the state and I can just really get some really good work done. So I like to ask that just to know, okay, what can I do to help them work better if they do get the job? And as I'm asking all these questions, I'm taking a lot of notes, and I often use a lot of intuition, but I also really a lot of rationale and logic as well as I go through and see, like, do this person match what I'm actually looking for? Do they match the ideal person for this job? And you can see how much I've really thought about this. Even though you're just hiring someone for $4 to $6 an hour, this person is going to have a big impact on your business, and just taking the time to think about this could really save you a lot of time and money, and really be a big key difference in growing your store. So those are the questions I have. Let's go back to our summary. So I'll then go through and ask those questions, and usually by the end of that call, usually about 45 minutes to 60 minutes, I'll get a really good idea of whether I want to trial them or not. And they'll have to have a good feeling. I'll be pretty sure that I want them, but I'll do a lot of calls. So I'll have about 3 to 5 different trials. So here's how the trial works, guys. I'll also talk to them about this. I'll say to them at the end of the call, awesome, yeah, that's really good. It's so good to meet you. Thanks so much for jumping on this call. I'd love to try a paid trial. It's going to be a trial for 3 days. I'm going to pay you for this, and I'll often pay them $50 US, to do this trial. And you can be a stinge and not pay them anything if you really want, and some people will take it, but it's out of respect. I respect it. They're taking up their time to do this, and I want them to give it the best shot they possibly can. So the way I do the trial, it's really scalable. I'll create a Google Sheet like this, and I'll put a link to this Google Sheet down on my website. There'll be a blog about this post, and I'll put a link to this sheet here, and you can just clone it and use it for yourself if you want. But really, it's the outline that you really want to use. What I do is I'll have this in my Google Drive, and I'll just copy this doc, like duplicate it, and I'll create a different one for every single person I want to trial. And, I get off the call and I send them a link to this doc, and I just say, go through this doc. What it has these 3 tasks. So 1, 2, 3. The first task here, I want to think about 3 tasks that are in 1 per day that really represent and typify exactly what that VA is going to be doing in their real life job when they start working for me. So for this job, they're going to be doing competitor research, designing banners, and then responding to customer service. So this first one is find 10 to 20 competitors for product niche. So you could change that to be like, I actually made a video here, but I'd say gardeners, and put them in a Google Sheet here with the website name, URL, and 5 products with the name, image, pricing, and description for each product. I also made a video, and you can check this video out yourself and see exactly how I send my videos. I use Loom. It's free, I believe, or it's $5 a month. I use this all the time. I'm actually using it to film this video. So this is a little bit meta right now, but I use this, and you'll see this video. You can watch it yourself. It's public, and I actually explain the job trial, the task, to the VA. So that they have this instructions here, text, but also video. I really want to make sure they understand exactly what they need to do, and they have a deadline. The deadline is so important, guys, because you want to make sure that they're punctual and they deliver on time. Make it very clear the time, the date, and the time zone so they know exactly what to do. In the video, I also say, when you've done this task 1, by Monday, make sure that you send me an email linking to this sheet so I know that you've done it. Okay, and you can also check the change history to make sure it's done, but as soon as they send it through, you're probably gonna be online and check it. But yeah, you wanna, what I do is, and they complete the task right here. So it means as soon as they send it through, I open up that link, it pulls up this sheet here, and I can just check the task. Yeah, that looks good. And then they do the next one. Sometimes I'll do all 3 on the first day. It's really up to them. And here, the second task, it's another thing. It's like, hey, here are some common questions from customers. Please create a response to each question or what you would do in each situation. I've only put 5 here. You can put in like 100 if you want and just pull them from your live chat history. And I made a video here explaining, but I want them to put a response here, what they would do. And they're gonna have to use their initiative and go to the website and check out like maybe the returns and refunds policy or the shipping policy or something like that and actually put in there. For something like this, I would like to speak with someone about stocking your products in my physical store. Someone probably has come to your site and actually asked that question to your live chat. Huge opportunity if it works out to actually stock your products in a retailer, in whatever country you're selling to. Huge opportunity. Does your VA actually tell you about this and say, hey, do you want to explore this opportunity? Or do they just like say no, or just ignore it, or just give some silly response? That's something that I just put in there just to see what they would say. But that's that task. Another video there, and I've got a deadline, same as before, and they can complete this right in this sheet right here. The third task, this is a bigger task. You can make the 3 tasks each individually, like this takes 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. Generally, each task is gonna take 2 to 3 hours. I know I'm paying a lot of my, this is, that's about, it's a bit, you for that time, it may not take them 8 to 10 hours. It may only take them 4 hours for this trial task, but I don't really mind. I'm still going to pay them the $50 because for me, it's payment for them, but also payment for me to see, okay, I really want to test out this person so we don't make mistakes later by hiring someone just based on an interview and they're not seeing how they actually work. So task 3 is create remarketing banner designs for our top 3 best-selling products in the top 10 most used Google AdSense banner sizes. Please upload them to a Google Drive in 3 different folders and share the link here so I can access. And I make a video and I explain this, and I explain it in a bit more detail as well about what I need here. But I want them, and I'm going to put links to 3 different products, and I want them to go and make some banner designs. And they need to take initiative and go and look at what are the top 10 most used Google AdSense banner designs as well to get that task done. And I also want them to make sure that I can have access. That's really important because they might put the link here, but it's a private folder. So you're going to know if they actually read the instructions carefully and followed them to the letter. That's really, really important. Deadline as well, super important. You want to hold them to this. If they miss a deadline, they're out. Don't even think about it. They're gone. If they message you and say, hey, I'm not going to make this deadline. Can I get this done tomorrow? That's fine. That's totally fine to me. That stuff happens. There's thunderstorms can knock out your electricity. You can have someone go to hospital. There's stuff that happens, but just hold them to that. And as long as they give you word, that's really, really important. So that's the trial that I would do. I send it to them. I'm going to leave a link to this in that blog post down below, and you can copy this for yourself. I do recommend you thinking about exactly who you're trying to hire for this, and then creating the task based on that person, what they're going to actually be doing. What I do then is, let me go back up. After doing that, I then review all the trials. And often there's 3 to 5. Sometimes people don't even finish the trial. They just don't do it. And of course they don't get paid. And then I review them all, and then usually have another call. Like I'll pick one. Usually there's one that stands out far over the others. And I'll generally pick that person and then get on a call and say, hey, yep, thanks. Great job. I'll PayPal you the $50. Just send me a PayPal email or whatever it is. And then I'll tell them about how we can start, and they can start pretty immediately. And the other ones, what I like to do is just tell them, hey, you did a great job. If they did a good job, you did a great job. I'm going to keep you on file, and I'll let you know as soon as an opportunity comes up, because you might need another VA later, or a friend of yours might have an e-com store. They might need a VA too. You've just gone through this whole process, this whole funnel. You've really verified that there's a good VA there. They may not be as good as your Rockstar that you found, but they're very, very good. You want to keep that information there and potentially hire them later. Maybe the current VA, they leave, maybe something happens, maybe something goes wrong, and you want to hire the next one. So you can then keep those other ones there, or refer them to a friend or someone else. It's really, really good. What I do is I pay them all, of course. PayPal them all. And then what I like to do is usually for the first 1 to 2 months, I'll hire them through Upwork. They may want to go outside of Upwork. I recommend for a VA staying within Upwork. And so they're going to have to pay the 20 to 25% fee to Upwork. It just gets taken from their payments. But then you say to them, hey, if this goes well, up to 2 months, we can go off Upwork. And then they immediately get a 20 to 25% pay rise. Boom. That's really good for them. Some very rarely they don't want to do that. I've had one VA who doesn't. She still works for me as well, but she doesn't like that. She prefers to go through Upwork just because she got screwed over by a store owner themselves because they just didn't pay her outside, and so she's like, I prefer to have the Upwork payment protection, which is totally cool. So she's on Upwork, but I still pay that same rate, even though she could get a bump. But maybe she sees that I pay everyone exactly on time. I never delay a payment. So she hopefully sees later, and she can get off Upwork. There's the only benefits for you there is that you can potentially have better cash flow if you pay your whole team on the first of the month or what have you. That's a benefit there. You can keep it all in one go, and I know that you've got that bill coming up. So that's a benefit there, but it's really up to you guys. Anyway, that's what I would do, and that's how I hire VA for my e-commerce store. A lot to go through there. That's a big video. I really hope that was helpful to you guys, and that's my full process. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate it, and if this video was helpful, give it a like, and let me know as well. Give me some feedback. Check out my other videos too, guys, and consider subscribing. I appreciate it. Hope this video was helpful. Like I said, link in the description to the blog post, which will have all these assets there that you can use for your own search for a VA. It's going to be a hard process you're about to embark, but it's also very exciting. It's going to be amazing for your e-commerce store, guys, and it's going to be amazing to get you out of the weeds and get you being the entrepreneur that you are, the business owner, where you're no longer doing all the customer support, you're no longer fulfilling orders, but you're able to focus on the big parts of your business. It's really important, guys, if you want to scale this thing. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.